Kia ora, and welcome to another RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under recap. It's season 1, episode 5. I'm Mama C, and joining me again today is Amanda. She is in Pittsburgh, and so is Nikki. I am in New Zealand, and we're here to tell you about the latest episode. So last time, Scarlett took the win in the design challenge for her glamdiculous short that, and then Karen and Anita had to lip sync.
Breaks my heart.
I know. And Anita was sent home. Returned to the workroom. Karen is crying because, she obviously feels terrible about Anita leaving. And, she's like, questions like, how hard it must be to send somebody home like Anita, or how is it? And then what Keita says, well, apparently not that difficult.
I mean, she tries the name of the game.
Yeah, she tries to make a joke, but yeah, they're kind of bummed out. Art says that Anita is the most aggressively positive person she's ever met in her life.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Karen talks about the whirlwind of emotions, etc. She starts throwing shade since Keita needs to step up her game. She's surprised she's still there. It's Electra and Keita say Kiwis need to take out the Aussie queens and they need to fight to the end. And Keita says there's a reason why they say Australia is full of states. Just saying. So we start off in the workroom and etc. just keeps spilling the shade. It's like she just can't help herself. I don't know what it is. And Karen says all the hate that she's spilling is obviously, or because she keeps spilling hate to Keita, and that it's obviously jelly, which I think so too in a way. Or Axie breaks the tension with saying, "I want a cooking challenge." That was awesome. I love that. Today's mini challenge is to read each other. Now I thought some of these were pretty good. Opened.
I think Keita did really good in this competition.
I think so too. I thought she did well. And they cut it down so there's a lot we don't see. So we're not, as a whole.
Keita did great. I think that Art Simone won because of her pronouns joke to etc. Because that was the best mix of a read and proper use of they them pronouns. It just blew me away. It was so clever. This is Wednesday.
Hi, Wednesday, kitty. That's probably the case, but that was hilarious, though. Etc. Of course, she throws shade at Electra. Says Kieran enjoys hemorrhoids. I'm not sure what that was about. Who enjoys hemorrhoids? Kieran was funny. It's good she did, she impersonated Kia and her little lisp or whatever you would call it. It was funny. And then she used the line, because that line, what she did at the end, was from House of Drag, and Keita and Anita were the hosts of that. And at the end, they would always say, da, 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 fuck off. And that's what I thought was hilarious. So it was cool that Kieran knew that. I thought that was cool. We already said Keita was funny. And she said to etc. for someone so woke, when are you going to wake the fuck up? But yeah, I thought Art saying, he was so glad to come to COVID-free New Zealand, but says Electra may need a COVID test. She's worried that Electra has lost her sense of taste.
That was a good one.
You can't be mad about that.
Yeah, that was funny. So I think that coupled with the they them, that was hilarious. So I could see why she won that challenge. Yeah.
I was a little disappointed in Electra. But again, I just hate when they say, I'm just not good at this. You're going to have to read. You know it.
Yeah.
So from the first day with these girls, you should be pocketing jokes.
I suppose that's true. Yeah, but it's hard to make it funny,
Yeah, and it's hard to think of at a moment's notice.
I was going to say, I feel like I'm funny, a lot of the times when I'm not trying to be, but when I'm trying to be funny, it doesn't.
You're not funny at all.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what are you trying to say?
She actually thinks I'm not funny at all, and she only laughs at me because I'm laughing at myself.
Ouch.
Basically. Everyone wants to do a joke and be like, wasn't that, No, Amanda, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, I think you're hilarious, dear. So that's fine.
Well, thanks.
See, your mommy thinks you're good. Yeah, so Art won that, which, you know, like I said, because of probably the more funnier jokes, or had more, I guess. I don't know. The Maxi Challenge is creating their own product, yeast spread product, and a commercial. Suzanne Paul. You guys probably don't know who Suzanne Paul is.
Nope.
She is like the queen of infomercials down under. And she's got like the really distinctive voice, like
ShamWow guy.
I was gonna say, or like
For the OxyClean.
no, like the woman who's always talking about the non-stick skillets. Like,
Oh yeah.
see, I don't know what you're talking about because obviously that's in the U.S. But yeah, like Suzanne, she does all that kind of stuff, you know. So yeah, she's definitely like a New Zealand sort of icon when it comes to that kind of stuff. And she's got that great memorable voice. Now, I already hate the name of Karen's spread.
Discharge.
Right off the top. I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel good to me. I don't like that at all. And and the name Piss, of course. I was like, really? That's too on the nose for me.
I wasn't a fan of the Piss infomercial at all, to be honest.
Karen seemed to do okay in the challenge. Scarlett was all about Snatch, another one of those weird ones. Art had a lot going on. Kita, she goes gross with the whole. Are you familiar at all with the Divine?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't have to explain any of that. I know it just makes me want to gag thinking about it. But so if you haven't heard of it, just Google that information and
Google that.
I don't even want to. No, I'm just no. We're not even gonna touch that. So yeah, but yeah, the best. Oh God, when she shoved that up her nose, I was like, no. Yeah, and then etc. crosses the line into the grossness too. Why? I mean, before somebody did that, like I was on Snatch Game. I can't remember who it was, but they turned around and took a piss, and that was not well received. So why would
it was Chad Michaels, wasn't it?
I kind of think
whoever it was dressed as Kesha.
Yes,
that's what I remember.
That's right, and that was not well received. So I was a little surprised that etc. decided to go with the peeing thing. So I was just like, okay, great. Director took charge, and I think Suzanne was impressed by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had a plan. She knew what she wanted to do.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the fact that she asked the guy, do you feel comfortable enough for me to pretend like I'm giving you a blowjob?
That was great. Yeah, I was like, consent, yes.
Bravo. Well done. Kapai. Poor Maxie, though. Bless her heart. She was struggling.
I think she just gets in her own head.
I think like what Michelle said,
definitely gets in her own head.
Mm-hmm. For sure. But when she's not thinking, she's just on it. She does great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when she's just having fun. Yeah. So, all right, so they did their shoots and all that good stuff. And then, of course, they're stressing a bit. They prepare. They talk about regrets, about things they did in drag. So, obviously, we have to address this. Scarlett talks about her past and the shame she feels for what she's done in the past. She's raked over the coals a bit, but I think she seems really sincere, and she apologizes again. She said, I was young. She was a teenager. After doing the blackface and that kind of thing, but she feels ashamed of it. She's apologized. And I think the fact that they were able to have a rational discussion about it was good instead of like a yelling match kind of thing.
I agree. Was good. And I really like what etc. said about, using her platform now to give back and make amends for doing that in her past. And I think that's a really good way for Scarlett to be able to come out of this and rise above it.
Yeah, because
it was like she said,
mistakes.
Yeah, and like she said, like anyone can sit there and apologize for what they've done, but like to move on past it and do and show like actions and that you have evolved from that is really a big thing. So
yeah, I think so too. And
yeah, it's important to acknowledge your privilege and acknowledge that, where you came from, you didn't know any better. And
yeah,
and
like
the only thing we can do as white people is try harder to not be racist. We'll never 100% not be racist because especially in the US it's just so systematic. We just have to have our eyes and ears open and do our best.
Yeah, well, and it's also like the same with sexism as well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't notice that either because it's so ingrained. I mean, not to take anything away from this subject, but there's that too. So, I mean, it's just people don't see it, and that's unfortunate. So hopefully now people are getting more educated because you never stop learning, even us old broads. Yeah, she said she didn't know better. She's changed since. Maxie says it was bad. And then etc. She says how she feels. Electra says she's impressed with how etc. feels and hopes that real change does happen. Shall we go down the runway and then we'll discuss each of their videos and all that stuff too?
Sounds
okay. Good. First off, let's take guest judge is Raina Owen. Now, have you guys ever seen the movie Once Were Warriors?
No.
Okay. Just saying, you're going to need to watch this. You should probably watch together because you're going to need moral support through this movie and you're going to need a box of tissues. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not going to tell you anything more about it, but I recommend you watch it. It's pretty deep movie. Anyway, so that's what she's most known for. I mean, I think she also was in like Star Wars, one of the Star Wars movies. Anyway. So yeah, that's who she is. What do we think of Rue's outfit? The sort of
It's the first one of Rue's outfits that I actually like.
Oh, really?
Yes. I love her wig. I love the dress. It's the first one this season that I was like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, as I said last week, her wig game is finally starting to be better. I actually really like this outfit. It's very, very risque and not a typical Rue dress. I feel like because she.
No, I thought the same thing. I'm like, this is different. Hello.
I liked it.
I liked it. Michelle was killing it too in this episode.
Yes, I tried to do my eyes similar.
I love her stripe of gray in her hair so much. It looks so great.
It does look cool. I wish I could make my gray hair look as shiny as hers. I'm sure there's probably something I could use. What are you gonna do?
Sure, there's something. Yes.
Mine is natural though. Oh, here's a question for you. Okay. What do you think? Okay, because I'm over 50 years old. Somebody said I should start to dress and look and act my age. What the heck did that mean?
I am sitting here as a 33-year-old woman wearing rainbow overalls. And earlier, a rainbow bucket hat. I'm never going to act and dress my age, ever, because it's not fun.
I'm wearing a blocker right now, so...
Well, no. I don't know. Apparently, I'm trying to be younger than I am. I don't know.
I mean, are you comfortable in what you wear and how you dress?
Yeah, but okay. I don't feel like I'm supposed to go. Should I start?
Then that's all that matters.
Make my weekly appointment to get my hair done and teased up for the week.
Oh Jesus! Please don't. Please don't.
Put a rinse on it, honey.
You're the one who does the weekly hair sets.
I went through a phase, honestly, when I was about 25 years old, which sounds so stupid now. when I was like, I have a corporate job, I have to have normal colored hair, no facial piercings, and be prim and proper. And then, you know what? I shaved my head during quarantine, and now I'm just like, screw it. I'm just gonna do what I want because I'm happier.
Well, I mean, it is just hair.
Yeah.
It grows back. Okay, runway. Up first is Electra Shock. She decides to paint her hair on today because, well, we found out last time. Remember, she looked awesome in that red wig. She borrowed that from Karen. So she's like, I know my wigs are not the greatest. So she painted
she said
on
my wigs are shit, so I painted it on.
It looks great. I think it was fantastic.
She owned up to it, and she looked good. She looked really, really good.
My God, though, how does she walk in those damn platform spiky heels?
I have no idea.
How do any of them? And then when they do their like splits and get up again, and I'm like, I would have broken an ankle by now.
Oh, me definitely. And I think that Niki would too, because she and I are both of the ankle breaking club.
Yes, absolutely. I do agree with what Rue said, though. There was nothing necessarily just like jaw-dropping about Electra's outfit, but she just put it together so well. And knowing that she doesn't have the best wardrobe, and and she's doing her best and pulling that together basically out of nowhere. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, I thought her silhouette looked really cool. I thought it was neat. Oh, show. All right, so now we'll talk about her commercial. I thought it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it did. She did an overall good job, and you got to give her kudos because, like you said, she went in there, she just like took charge, and that's what they really liked about it. So, you didn't really see that with any of the other girls. They kind of just
bumbled.
Yeah. Electra was like, "Okay, we're doing this. This is how we're doing this.
We have so much
time.
If
I pretend to blow you.
This is the amount of time we have, and go."
Yeah. And Kita Mean. Obviously, we talked about the Divine reference and all that.
I loved her outfit.
Yeah, I thought that dress was unbelievable. I loved it.
Spending last week in Tennessee and going to Dollywood for the Butterfly and Flower Festival, this one just like gave me life. I was like, can I go back and wear this to Dollywood, please?
Yeah, I loved it.
Stunning. I loved it. I was surprised she wasn't in the top because I really thought it was that good. Maxie Shield. I don't know why I always want to sing her name.
I love her outfit.
I thought she looked like a Gibson girl. She just looks so cute.
And elegant and understated, which is something that you don't see from her very often.
Yeah, she actually looked really pretty.
Yeah. She's more in your face and look at my big jiggling boobs, and it was a nice change. I think she looked fantastic.
The conservative side of Maxie.
I thought it was cute.
Yeah. Now, except her poor commercial, it really was like she just sat there in the middle the whole time, or stood in the middle the whole time. Yeah. I was really hoping she would have gone for it.
Me too. But I do think that they were able to cut it together a lot better than I thought they would be able to.
Oh, for sure. Okay. Karen from finance.
Volunteer firefighter outfit.
Mm-hmm. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Gives me life.
Yeah. Big fan. Big fan.
It. Even Johnson, he goes, that was really well done. Yeah, he thought that was cool. Coming from a firefighter, I'd say that's high praise. So I thought that was really great. Her commercial was, I expected more from Karen.
Yeah, she just has so much potential to take it a step further, and I feel like she just kind of buried herself in her character a little bit. But then again, after last week being told to, get away from the characters, I can see why she did it that way.
Yeah. I do too. Yeah. But you know what I could definitely see is I could see her having her own sitcom. Karen
Oh, yeah.
from Finance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so that was my idea. Just saying, everybody. Karen from Finance, the comedy, the sitcom. I think that'd be great. Okay, etc. etc. She sort of had that big I, coat. What would I don't know what you call it.
It was some. I was it supposed to be like wildlife, or I think it was supposed to be like a wildlife type esque, and then I think
And then the
my
fire.
interpretation of it is when she took it off, it was all red and yellow underneath. So my interpretation was like the fire, and then she was in the black, and so like
Yeah. Yeah, you got it. That's exactly what she was going for because she started
Okay.
off with nature and creatures and all that kind of stuff, and then she lifted it. Then it looked like flames, and then underneath was the black charred looking thing, but out of the burnt or whatever, out of the ashes, and then she pulled out the new growth. So it was like things can come out of it. I thought it was kind of it was an art piece. I would call that.
Yeah, it was a good concept. My only issue with it is when you're doing something like that, you shouldn't look your best burnt. Like that black
Yeah.
dress was stunning, and I shouldn't be like, "Oh, the forest caught on fire." Like it just made me feel bad for liking it so much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, she wasn't the actual fire that destroyed it. She was just doing symbolic stuff. But I know what you're saying, though. Like maybe it should have looked a little more rugged,
Yeah, or frayed. Yeah.
damaged, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I see what you're saying. Art Simone, that's right. So
Wasn't it the
Who is that character?
the
What was
character? She had like
the pink?
the wine glass hat or wine cork hat, and
yeah, Kath from Kath and Kim. Which I mean, I think as far as looks go, she nailed the look. But again, that's the show that I was not made for me. And I have to say, my opinion of Michelle dropped just a little bit because she said she was a huge fan of it, and I'm like, really? Are you? Are you though? Okay.
When art first came out, I was like, "Ugh, what is this?" And then when she took the coat off, I was like, "Okay, I like this."
See, the explanation behind the corks is because that's like an Aussie thing where it's like you wear a big hat to keep the flies off of you. You hang little corks all around it, and they kind of wobble all the time, and that keeps the flies off your face. I didn't say it was a good look. I'm just explaining it.
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
So then finally we have Scarlet, the from doing the Priscilla Queen of the Desert. I thought that was really good.
Fantastic.
It was. Because I mean, have you seen Priscilla Queen of the Desert, Amanda?
No.
I see. I feel like you probably did, but you probably didn't know what it was at the time, and you probably ran off and played because I was watching it, and she was a child, so she's like, I don't want to watch this movie about people in the desert. What is it? A cock and a frog on a rock. Anyway, there's something else to Google. Okay.
My FBI agent who's watching my Google is gonna be like, okay. What are you up to, Amanda?
Like that's the weirdest thing.
Dang, Nikki, she's on fire today.
I haven't gotten to see Amanda in a week until today, so I have a lot of leftover pent up slams for her.
She's been saving them up.
It's okay. I'm ready for it.
Okay, so Scarlett's advertisement, her commercial. Hers was all about the snatch. That one. Yeah.
Wait, is she the one who like had the weird face? That was just too much for me. I'm sorry. I know.
Not great.
I will say, Scarlett's look at the beginning of her infomercial, I loved, like all the pink. But as soon as she said, made from real vaginas, I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, so we come back for the critiques with the judges. Electra's critique, they say, well done. Michelle says the other girls underestimate her, but it's like, I think Michelle was underestimating her from the beginning. Kita mean, funny. Her look was stunning, gorgeous. And of course, they talk about the ad. They said it was funny, iconic, divine thing. Maxi Shield, they say she doesn't move. We saw no result effect of the product because, if it's supposed to make y'all horny, why didn't she turn into a horn dog or horn
bag?
Whatever it was. Horn bag. Yeah, even she messed the name up too, so I don't feel bad. Karen, her fiery outfit was awesome. Rue says it's very chic. Michelle loved it. Her ad was okay. Art, too much going on, not funny really, they say. Etc.
Arts was pissed, wasn't it? Art did
Art was the one making fun of Americans and.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that as an offended American. I'm saying that as I didn't even understand that you were trying to be offensive to me.
Yeah. Honestly,
it was just poor jokes, but yeah. It didn't land at all. The piss ad was gross. Michelle she discusses the whole line crossing thing. Yeah. Scarlett, they loved her Priscilla Queen of the Desert outfit. It was amazing. But then Rue addresses the blackface.
And if they're going to air that portion of it, then they're going to have to address it with Rue. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Scarlett again apologizes and talks about things that she done when she was a teenager and being stupid and stuff, and hasn't made mistakes. And I would really appreciate the way Rue addressed the fact that there are people who would say cancel her immediately, but I would rather this be a lesson in humanity and accountability, and pray we can all learn from our mistakes. Yeah, because if we can't allow people to screw up and be forgiven, then who are we, right? Because everybody makes mistakes. So anyway, moving on. The judges deliberate. The Kiwi Queens did well on tonight's runway. They come back to the stage. Didn't really have an untucked, and I think that's because of the whole Scarlett situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because they pulled time away from that for that discussion, which is probably better use of the time. So we come back. Scarlett is safe. Kita is safe. Surprise, she wasn't in the top. That's just me. Electra then is crowned winner of this challenge. Yay!
Finally.
I know, right? Ugh. So huzzah. But she went. The prize was, I thought, I don't know, it seemed kind of boring to me. I'm like, oh, a 4-night stay at a hotel. Oh, yay. Oh, in either Australia or New Zealand. Oh, yay.
Yeah, what etc. won a sewing, or not etc.
Art won a
sewing machine for the mini challenge.
Yep, that's true. This is New Zealand. Maxie's in danger, girl. Oh man.
My neighbors are setting off fireworks right now. So.
Oh, that's right, because it's Memorial Day there.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody decided fireworks was the thing to do. Okay.
Jeez.
Okay. Maxie is in danger, and then Art is pronounced safe, and etc. is in danger. And thank goodness Karen is safe. I was like, oh, I can't take anymore. So that leaves us with etc. and Maxie in the lip sync. And I was just like, I didn't know how this was going to turn. But I will say, when Maxie pulled out her prop mic, I was living for it.
Loved it.
Yeah, absolutely loved it.
I felt like Maxie understood the song more.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
she
et cetera, was jumping around and doing the splits, and it wasn't that kind of song. It was a Diva E belt it out kind of song.
Yeah.
And she just great energy, wrong audience in that moment.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and when she said Maxie was safe, I was like, yay! I was so happy for Maxie. Yeah, and then when she thanked the judges into her prop mic, I was living for that. I was like, yes!
I like, before it starts, when she says, literally, up my sleeve, and then she pulls out the mic, I was like, yes!
Oh, I loved it. I was loving it. So good.
I do also want to say, I am not a huge Art Simone fan. But she is killing it, not going home within an episode or two of being brought back. She's doing a damn good job keeping steady and making her place in this competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I suppose, just that little bit of a shock, that kind of wakes you up, doesn't it? I'd be like, okay, so I'm going home. If you get asked to come back, you're like, I am not going to muck this up.
Yeah.
So,
and usually they do.
Yeah, that is correct. That is absolutely true. So then we see, etc., etc. She bids us farewell and says, I guess you can kill a cockroach on her way out. So next time we've got a makeover challenge with the sports guys, like burly sports guys. And this, I'm just like, because man, some guys just look so bad in drag. Trust me, John, not a pretty woman. Because when this has been, oh God, years ago, we did Sunny and Cher. And I was Sunny and he was Cher, because, the height thing. And he is not an attractive woman. I tried. His skin is darker, so it was harder for me to try to figure out to do, because obviously my foundation not would not work adequately for him, and he needed, I don't know, heavy paint. I don't know. He goes, you know what? I'm okay that I'm not a pretty woman. I was like, okay then.
As long as he's accepting of it.
Yeah, he accepts it, so it's all good. So I wish them luck with that. And also I'm going to post up a picture, sweatwithpride.com. If you go check that out, there's a way for you can exercise and help raise money for the rainbow community. And so they've got a commercial right now. In fact, Ketamine, well, she's going under a different name, but she's in one of the ads. And then I think, Bionica, which you don't know her, she's another queen. And then Jim Bag is a drag, is on the commercial, but in real life, well, not in real life, but they're formerly known as Hugo Girl. Hugo Girl is a drag king here, and actually won, I believe, season 1, I want to say, of House of Drag. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you ever get to check out Hugo Girl, they're really good. So there you go. So that wraps up this week's recap of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. Make sure you join Amanda, Niki, and myself again for another episode. So we'll see you next time. I'm Momma C.